Callan. Hey, what's up, my lead? I was starting to sing there for a second. Hey, before I start this video, I added a couple movies. This is on Forgotten Disney Film Fair. That's what the title's called. I'm going to add a couple more movies, that are forgotten by most people, but I mean, I like them. And I want to say a couple things. It was really a coincidence. I did that video for the Kinder Bueno candy bar video, and then after that, after I was done the video, I started uploading it. There was a TV commercial. I sent the TV commercial to like Kat and Patrick and a couple other people. And on the video, these two girls, nice looking, and this guy's trying to tell them what to get, and then he stumbles. The guy stumbles, and all these candy bars fall, and the girls pick him up. And then that one girl say, "Hey, way to go, Jason," or something like that. They used my name. I thought that was awesome. It's just a weird coincidence. And I want to, and it was really cool that Kat did a video for Patrick and myself about making a sandwich, because I did a sandwich called the Diane Wood, and I forgot to put pepperoni in it. That's why I forgot. Oh well. I'm not going to go back and do it. The sandwich is pretty good from what it is. I should have put pepperoni in it though, but oh well. Well, anyways, this is a review of Disney Forgotten Film Fair. Now, I have tonight and tomorrow, and then Monday morning I start vacation again. And the one thing is, starting Monday morning, I'm not going to be as up to date on my YouTube as I should, because I have work and I'm just really busy. You know what I mean? So it'll probably start slowing down. The videos are going to start slowing down probably too. But there's supposed to be there's probably going to be an unboxing video within the next 2-3 days. I'll tell you what that's all about whenever I get the package. Okay? Just an update, so stay tuned. Well, anyways, this is what I was going to talk about. Disney Forgotten Film Fair. These are originally there were going to be 6 films. I decided to make it 8 films. And some of these films I just saw over the last day or two on Movie Pass. If you have like Time Warner Cable, the digital thing, Movie Pass, at least on my digital cable, is $2.99, and it's an on-demand service, but it's free. And they got like 4 sections: Disney, which is what I got the movies from, then FearNet, then Fox Movie Channel. They had it set up a different way. Now it's set up real weird. I don't know what's up with the setup though. And also Utopia, which has a bunch of movies, and they've been showing a bunch of the Full Moon movies. Then on this, I've been checking them out. Well, anyway, this is about Forgotten Disney Film and stuff like that. Because I went on, I checked, they had the black hole on there, and I haven't seen that in a long time. And I might as well start with the black hole. That was the one that went. Disney was kind of like in a slump in the 70s for the most part, and then until the early 80s, until maybe about 84, 85, they were in a slump, and their movies just weren't making that much money. And they wanted to have an idea in 1979 to try to, because of the success of Star Wars, they made a movie called The Black Hole, which is infamous because it's the first PG-rated movie that Disney ever did, and also, to my knowledge, the first one that ever had any swear words in it, because they say, I think, hell twice and damn once or something like that. But I mean, it's not anything super bad, but I think that's the first one that had some curses in it. And basically, they said it was their answer to the Star Wars, but I thought it was a little bit more like Alien, because they're in this spaceship and then they discover this black hole. And there's this one ship that seems like a derelict ship, and no one's running or anything like that, and it's right there, and it's not getting sucked into the black hole. They go to investigate the ship because that was the ship that this one girl's dad was on. That was a missing ship. So they go to investigate it, and all of a sudden when they get real close to it, the lights light up, and they get pretty much sucked in, and then they have all these problems, and they have to fix their ship, and they get stuck in there. And they find out that it's run by mostly robots. And the one cool robot is named Maximilian, and it's on my thumbnail for the movie. I had to put that robot in there. It's one of my favorite robots growing up as a kid, seeing it as a kid. And actually, in the golden age of McCoy's in Edinburgh, they had a couple model kits. I bought the model kit from Maximilian. I put together, and it was like it had like a stand in it where you hook the robot on, the plastic robot on, and it would levitate there. And I also bought the one for Moonraker, the James Bond movie, which looks a lot like the space shuttle. You know. Well, back to that. The one ironic thing about Maximilian is there's one guy that's in charge of the whole ship. And in real life, his real name is Maximilian Schell. And it's kind of ironic that the robot is named Maximilian. I don't know if that's supposed to be ironic or not. But I mean, and they run into a lot of problems. And they have like all-star casters. Anthony Perkins is in it, Ernest Borgnine, and Robert Forster before, you know. I mean, that was like a year before he did Alligator. Alligator was really cool. And basically, I saw this at the drive-in back when they didn't they get a lot of re-releases back in the 70s and 80s, because I remember seeing they re-released Sleeping Beauty. I remember seeing it at Cinema World, and then like a year or two later, they re-released Sleeping Beauty and the Black Hole at the drive-in. And basically, we went to see it to see the Black Hole. Like we always saw Sleeping Beauty, but we watched both movies. And this is back in the golden age of the drive-in. We have one drive-in left in Corey, and I think, and the guy had to buy this digital projector equipment. It cost like, I don't know, $100,000 or something like that. And it's only good for like 5 years. So I don't know how they're making money at the drive-in now, because people don't go to the drive-in. Not most people. You know, it's great for families and stuff. I know I'm going off on a tangent about a whole bunch of different things. But they run into a foul of the robots, and also the guy who's in charge of the ship and stuff like that. I don't want to go any further, but it's got some really awesome special effects. And, I mean, the special effects hold up today, too. I mean, because I know it's all CGI and stuff like that, but the effects are really cool. And you'd be kind of blown away with what they did in 1979, except I'm not giving anything away. At the very end, there's a miniature shot, which is awful. It reminded me of almost how bad, if you ever saw Kingdom of the Spiders, there's a matte shot at the very end. That's horrible. The neat idea, but horrible. And then, like I said, in a Black Hole, there's a really bad miniature shot. I mean, really bad compared to the rest of the movie. I'm not giving anything away. You'll know it when you see it. It's really horrible. But aside from that, the Black Hole was cool, and it was panned by critics. It didn't make any money. And most of these movies are movies that critics didn't care for, and it didn't make a ton of money for Disney. And that's why they're forgotten film fare. Well, the next movie is one, I mentioned this before when I did my thing about old school Laserdisc. My uncle who passed away gave me his Laserdisc collection, and his Laserdisc player, and he only had like about 10 or 12 discs and stuff like that. And the weird thing is, this was still wrapped up. He never saw it. I don't know why. And I have one of the ones, the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but that was a successful one from Disney. But this is In Search of the Castaways. I remember renting this at the library in Fort Bragg and making a copy of it, you know. And back, you know, I had 2 VCRs. I used to make copies of movies all the time. And people always thought it was Gilligan's Island because it was the Castaways. No, that's not what this is about. Wait a minute. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Yeah, it says an earthquake, a flood, or a fiery volcano won't stop her, nor will snapping crocodiles or a colossal condor. Nothing will stop Spunky Mary Grant Haley Mills from traveling the 4 corners of the world to find her missing sea captain father, although her only clue to his whereabouts is a message in a bottle. And this is like an action adventure that has actually some musical numbers in it. And Marie Chevalier's in it, Haley Mills, and Wilfred Hyde White. And this is a really entertaining movie. And this is the one that, this wasn't made in the 70s. I think this was made in the 60s. If you get a chance, you should really check out In Search of the Castaways. It's really cool. And a lot of good action and stuff, and comedy too. I really enjoyed it. I was surprised how much I liked it. And let me see what else I was going to talk about. Oh, there's 2 Kurt Russell movies that were playing on Movie Pass, also on the Disney Channel. One was The Barefoot Executive, which I liked a little bit better than the other one I'm going to mention, but it's a really good movie where Kurt Russell works at addicts agency. I'm not a network agency, and they're trying to pick out shows and stuff like that. And he has a pet monkey, and the monkey is the one that chooses the shows, and the shows are a successful hit. And it's a very entertaining thing, and it's really funny. And it has that one guy. There's a lot of actors. I don't remember their names and stuff like that. I don't know their names, but you know their faces and their voices. And he was really funny, and he's in the next one. Oh, the one thing about Barefoot Executive, I remember when I used to have to go to catechism. Like twice, they had like this movie thing on a Saturday afternoon, and I think it was like $3. And you go down there, you know, it wasn't real close to where I lived. This is why I lived in Albion. And what you did, when you'd get like for like $3, you'd get like a sloppy Joe and potato chips, and then you could get unlimited cans of soda and like unlimited bags of popcorn. And they showed the movie Barefoot Executive. And another time they had the errand boy Jerry Lewis, and the nuns had like a projection, old school movie projector, and they had like 3 reels, and they showed them out of sequence, which kind of ruined the integrity of the movie. But oh well, that was cool. And like I said, Barefoot Executive was really good. Oh, and they also had another one. They had that Fun and Fancy Free. That's a good one too. That's now came back on DVD, which is really good with what's his name? The one with had like Charlie McCarthy and stuff like that. It's really entertaining. And then the next movie is the Computer Board Tennis Shoes with Kurt Russell also, and he did like 3 movies. And this one is the one that the critics didn't care for, and the critics didn't like Barefoot Executive either. And basically, they get like he is in the school, and the dean of the school thinks he's a bad kid, and all these other kids are bad. And actually, he's pretty clean. He actually is pretty clean cut compared to some of the people you see on the movies today that are supposed to be bad. And they get like this giant computer in their school, and he's supposed to do some work on it and stuff like that after school. And there was like a rainstorm in there, and something happens. He gets electrocuted, and the electrocution is actually a little more violent than I thought it would be. You know, he looks like he really got shocked, and they find out he becomes a computer. Like they have like a thing, they're checking him out, and they see like little. They look in his eye, and they see like little computer printouts and stuff like that. It's really interesting movie. And then he did 2 movies after that, which the critics actually liked better. That were World's Strongest Kid and Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And I used to watch those on Wonderful World of Disney back on when it was on NBC, the real one, not the one when in the 80s when it switched to ABC. It wasn't the same. Because I remember it was on NBC for I don't know how long on Sundays at 7 o'clock, because it used to be Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, and then that show. I'll never forget that. Growing up in Albion in a small house. And speaking of that, in Kmart, I noticed they a long time ago, back in 92, 93, I was down there, and they sold a couple of Disney VHSs from Wonderful World of Disney. They had a couple of their double features. Some of them were their hour-long nature movies. They used to have like these hour-long nature ones they used to show on there. And also, the one I was happy to find, which I had a pain in the butt finding, which one of my favorite movies was The Cat from Outer Space. And that's when I saw it in another movie I'm reviewing, The Cat from Outer Space. I saw that in 1977. My mother took my sister and I to go see that. That's a very entertaining movie. And I was really glad to get that. And I did show it to my niece and nephew, and they liked the movie. I might have gave it to them. I can't remember. But that was back on VHS. I assume they have it on DVD now. I don't know. Now, what else? Other movies I was going to talk about? I was going to talk about. Let me see. Oh yeah, Mystery. This is one you probably. This is a one from 1973 from Wonderful World of Disney, also called Mystery Dracula's Castle. I just saw it, and it had Clu Gallagher was in it, and Mariel Hemingway was in it, and then one kid from Sigmund and the Sea Monster was in it. And basically, and this was from the Wonderful World of Disney, and a 2-hour movie. And it was weird because they just show a little bit of the credits at the beginning. They don't have a title. No title is shown for the movie, you know. And they just show a little bit of Wonderful World of Disney at the very beginning. And then the movie starts, and basically it's about like this kid and his brother, and he makes movies and stuff like that, and he wanted to make a Dracula movie. But it stays right there, and then it's summertime, and he has to go, and they go to their summer house, and basically he's around the summer house, and apparently they run with this one stray dog that likes to steal stuff. And then, lo and behold, they run across some jewel thieves that stole a $100,000 necklace. And they're hid out in this lighthouse. And then the kids stumble upon the lighthouse and thinks it'd be a cool location for their Dracula movie. So, I mean, and that's pretty much where it goes from there. There's lots of stuff happens. It's very entertaining. It's really good because I don't like the Disney Channel now. The Disney Channel now sucks. You know, but back then, when Wonderful World of Disney and stuff, they used to have good movies. And even in the 90s and stuff like that, the early 90s, they used to have like the Bob Hope, Bing Crosby movies at nighttime. But they don't have any of that stuff anymore. It's just, I don't know, what the hell, Hannah Montana stuff. I hate that stuff. And I think, let me see, that, and then the next one I'm going to talk about is Ernest Scared Stupid. Now, I haven't seen that since 91 when I was in Fort Detrick, Maryland, and it was around like a few weeks before I was going to go home because I left the Army November 22nd, I think, of 91. And it was one of the very last movies I saw at in Maryland. They had like a line of malls and stuff like that, and they had like the one more expensive one where the movies were, and I went to see the movie, and I was the only one in the theater. That's the first time that's ever happened. There's been a couple of times when there hadn't been anybody or almost nobody. So I went to see, the same time I went to see that, a little while back, I went to see that god-awful movie with Danny Glover and Martin Short called Pure Luck. And there was like, I think three other people in the theater. I hated that movie. It was awful. And then I went to see that Hulk Hogan movie, Suburban Commando, which I did like. And there was only like 2 people in the theater alongside me. But I was the only one seeing Ernest Scared Stupid. I'll never forget that. I hooped it up and I made a little bit of noise, and more noise than I usually would, laughing and stuff like that. Just, I don't know, I had fun with the fact I was the only one in the theater seeing this stupid movie. And it's really silly, but I enjoyed it. I remember seeing Ernest Goes to Camp in '87. I rented that. We rented that on video. And that was before I went in the Army. Then in Germany, I saw Ernest Saves Christmas, which I really liked. And then in Fort Bragg, I saw Ernest Goes to Jail. Ernest Goes to Jail sucked. I absolutely hated that one. And I didn't know what to expect with Ernest Scared Stupid. But thankfully, it was a Halloween-themed horror comedy thing, which is perfect for kids. And they have like these troll creatures that are made, designed by the Chiedo brothers, and they're famous for movies like Critters, and also Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And it was a very entertaining movie. And Eartha Kitt's in it, who was one of the girls that played Catwoman on the old Batman show, and she was really good at it. She had a crazy role, and she really went for it, you know. And I like that, and like I said, the critics hated that. And the last movie I want to talk about, the review, is one from this century. Actually, 2005. God, it seemed like just yesterday it came out. It's a computer animated movie that some critics liked. I know Leonard Maltin liked it real one. Some critics hated, but no one went to see it. And I didn't get a chance to see it till just now. Called Valiant, and it was made from Vanguard Animation out of the UK, and it's about the it's set during World War II, about the homing pigeons, and basically Valiant is a good one on the British side, and then, you know, they fight the evil Germans, and they had like this one evil German called the Vulture, you know, and that was the character, and then Valiant's like this little scrawny little pigeon, and then him and like Ricky Gervais is like this one pigeon that doesn't take care of himself and stuff like that. And then there's a ragtag bunch, and they're supposed to be trained to be homing pigeons to help the war effort and stuff like that. I don't want to go any further than that. But the one interesting thing, I wrote it down, is at the end of the movie they had some true facts about World War II. And it said that animals saved thousands of lives during World War II. And the highest award for animal bravery was called the Dickin. It's spelled D-I-C-K-I-N. I didn't know about any of this, so this is actually an interesting fact, you know. And it said 54 of those were awarded for animal bravery. 18 were given to dogs. 3 were given to horses. 1 was given to a cat. And 32 were given to pigeons. So I never knew that. That's a really interesting fact. And also I wrote this on this notepad. I still have this. I still have one left. I grabbed a whole bunch of these. This is for like a graduation for Brad Callan, because my one of my cousins went to Edinburgh, and well, they lived in Meadville. In the last 2 years, Brad was bugging them to go to General McLean in Edinburgh because they said their school, their football program was better. And, you know, that caused some rift with some of the family members and stuff like that. But they end up moving down to Edinburgh for like 2 years, 2.5 years. They're back in Meadville now. And in 2007, which is the year he graduated, that's the year we became AAA football and basketball state champions. John McLean. And that usually never happens to us. So that was cool. And, you know, and I got a whole bunch of cool stuff written down on this tablet. And General McLean's the school I went to. I remember kindergarten and first grade I went to Northwestern, but after that I went to General McLean. And the one unfortunate thing is there was a school shooting there also, because, you know, on the news there's been two school shootings within the last week. Well, unfortunately, week or 2 weeks. And what happened in General McLean was, this was back in 2001. And it was on the national news too. There was like some dance. And the dance was supposed to be something like this Reddit Hall right next to this place that had, it was owned by the same guy that had like this miniature golf thing, because I played miniature golf there before, and thing of bumper boats and stuff. And it was like a school dance, and apparently this one kid shot the one teacher and killed John Gillette, who was actually my homeroom teacher. I actually know him too, you know. And that's what happened. I remember, you know, they had on the news, they said, what's happening again now in Edinburgh, PA, and my dad started crying because my niece goes there. My niece went there. I mean, she graduated now, but she was in like 5th grade, and I remember my sister's first husband wanted to get her out of there because of what happened. I don't blame him. And then my nephew was too little to go into school back then. Or he was about ready to start kindergarten, I think, but he went to the one he went to the McCain Elementary School. Well, anyways, that's what happened there. And what bugged me is Bill Maher actually made a joke about it. I like Bill Maher, but when he had the show on ABC, Politically Incorrect, he was mentioned that what happened, and he said, well, I guess the guy never heard of cutting in for a dance or something like that. It was a very offensive joke. I'm surprised he said that. That's before he got in real trouble for saying the things about 9/11. You know, I don't know. I never forgive Bill Maher for saying that. Well, anyway, not to leave this on a negative note, but all these movies, Search of the Castaways, Cast from Outer Space, Barefoot Executive, Computer Word, Tennis Shoes, Black Hole, The Mystery of Dracula's Castle. That's a tough one to find, but if you find it, it's really good and entertaining. Valiant and Ernest Scared Stupid. And I mentioned the Black Hole. Oh, and it was cool on that Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors, one of the ones in the past, about the black hole, and then you see that comic book guy throwing a copy of the DVD of the black hole into the black hole, which I thought was neat. But these were all great movies, and they're good for family entertainment and stuff like that. You know, that one, the black hole, is PG rated, and there's a little bit of violence in it, but I don't, compared to what's out there now, I don't think it's that big of a deal, you know. So, I guess please like, share, and subscribe. Massive shouts to Gut the Munchie Show, Cat W Magic, Patrick Barton, Patrick Manzo, Josh Harrells, Travage, Joey's World Tours, Rocker Raymond, and everybody else, Budico, Super Lady Sheba, Miss Cavalero 1, and Violet. Congratulations again for winning that makeup contest. And like I said, there's probably going to be an unboxing video coming up soon. Now, I'll tell you why. I don't want to, he didn't make a video about it yet, but when I do the unboxing video, it's, you know, the secret's going to be out. So, until next time, Take care of my Legion. I know this video's long, just like anyone else, because I get to talking, you know, but take care of my Legion. Well, oh, of course it won't shut off now. Come on, shut off. Oh, come on. I got these right here. Okay, come on. I don't know if it shut off there or not. Well, if it